How we doing, guys? Welcome. It's back. Suri is here after what seems like many weeks and time. It is finally. Let's get back to it. We've got a really good week. We've got Milan in the Derby della Madonnina against Inter. Juventus are facing off against Lazio. This is going to be a really good week. Of course, we've got Roma versus Empoli starting a string of matches, which shouldn't be all that bad, to be honest. It's nice of you to join me. It's about 8:50 where I am p.m. Friday night. I know you've probably got a lot better places to be, but here we go. It's time to discuss this. And one of the first things I want to mention, we're going to take a look also at the Madonnina for sure. We're going to check out some previews for today, see who's injured and not, who's coming back from injury crisis, stuff like that. So we're going to probably, I think, break it all down in a timely manner. I'm hoping like under 20 minutes. So it's nice to see everybody here too. Don't forget to write comments and all that type of stuff. So thank you. Okay. I think that we should definitely discuss the Azzurri first. Against North Macedonia, it's pretty crazy that you only come away with a draw, right? Luciano Spalletti's first match, and we see some familiar faces, a couple new ones. I was hoping that Raspadori would have gotten the start there, but we'll get to that against Ukraine. But Politano was one of those starters, and who else was out on the left wing? Zaccagni, if I'm not incorrect, Immobile, and the midfield Brian Cristante. We see Mancini go toe to toe or having a partner with not Scalvini but Bastoni, and I like that. That was like what I thought was going to be the best pick that was possible. Like I thought that was going to be the best option that Spalletti had. But in reality, what we saw was Gianluca Scalvini is already that player. He's already to be the starter on the Azzurri fold. Spalletti needs to point towards him for the future. He's got to get him and Bastoni playing together, building that chemistry. I also wouldn't doubt the idea that could Scalvini end up at Inter at season's end. This is a team that's going to make a lot of money in the Champions League this year. They're going to be able to hold on to their stars. Will it be another long-term deal like the one of Fratesi, where it's spread over 5 years and the amortization is quite low? The good things, which I saw, though, was that Spalletti is willing to innovate. He wants to switch things up. We do see Raspadori come in against Ukraine and plays the false nine. He could have had a goal or two. Fratesi was able to push so far up, which was beneficial for him. He gets 2 goals, and his positioning just allows him to get them, right? Like, as a midfielder, it's not just due to his high quality, whatever, long-range shot, his incredible abilities on the ball, right? But it's more so about where Spalletti allows him to be. I thought he was going to be not so forward, but it does make sense. I mean, the way we see the way that he's played for Sassuolo, I think for Roma fans in particular, it's a sore subject. I know for me, I feel a certain way when Fratesi takes the pitch and I see him do well. Like it's a it's a missed opportunity. One, the fact that he was sent away from Rome for a Gregoire de Frel who was terrible, and two, that Roma could not get him back. That Thiago Pinto could not manage that one. But you look at the transfer price that he commanded, and you start to get it right. Like we see that Roma's not spending money on transfer fees. So that really limits the options of players that you can get in. But I think we can move on from the international games now because probably just going to drive us crazy if we talk more about it. But let's talk about the best lineup that Mourinho can pose against Empoli on Sunday. I'm going to take your screens. We're going to go over to Twitter. By the way, guys, just let me know how you're doing and everything. It's also going to be available on podcasts. It's going to be uploaded to Spotify and Apple Podcasts. So you'll be able to get these in more ways than one. I know sometimes, like, for me, I'm more of a podcast guy, to be honest with you, because I drive a lot. And sometimes I just want to throw a pod in, keep it moving, stuff like that, But yeah, let's jump over to Twitter here, and we can see that this is going to be most likely what Mourinho goes with. And I see fans coming in from South Korea. What's up, man? How are you? It must just be morning there in South Korea, a Saturday morning. So good stuff. Start from the back, right? Patricio for sure. There's Svilar is not even a backup keeper. He's like a third string. Llorente, Smalling, and Dika, who will come in for Mancini. So on international duty, Mancini seems to have come away with a muscular injury in midfield that also dictates the choices here. Cristante goes home, but that's more due to technical choice. That was one of Spalletti, not physical. So he uses him all the time. Cristante is one of those guys who every manager is like, yeah, we love him. I wish I had 11 of Brian Cristantes. I think for fans, we look at this situation and we're like, why? Because he doesn't always offer a lot going forward. I wouldn't say he's great defensively. Every now and then he has a good long ball. I think that's like one of his qualities, but I wouldn't say he's a maestro by any means. But it will be Cristante and probably Paredes here. Renato Sanchez not fully fit. Eddie Bove, maybe Bove starts over Cristante. I would like to see that. That would probably be my pick, is Bove next to Paredes. Left wing, check that out, El Shaarawy. This is the most likely pick right now. This is the news coming out from Rome that Mourinho would like to go with SES over Zalewski, Spinazzola out injured. I think it's the right move. This is a match where Roma is going to be allowed to put numbers up. Empoli have not scored a single goal this entire Serie A season. They've only got one goal in the Coppa Italia with Francesco Caputo. So with that, Roma is not, if they just wait and sit back, they're not going to get many opportunities. It's going to be a boring match. The ball's barely going to move. But Roma must put players forward. And I like the idea of El Shaarawy here because this is a match where you can allow to get an extra attacker there who doesn't necessarily need a lot of defensive duties and backtracking. Rick Karsdorp most likely here to take the starting role over Salik, over Christensen. And this is also some news coming out of Rome that he's been the preferred option on the right wing back role. Alvar, speaking about maestros, this guy is my favorite signing of the season already. You know, we're going to be 4 rounds in, and he's got my heart. I love the way he plays, technical, sound, swift, reads the play, can move on the half turn, can receive it in any type of position, whether it's back is to goal or he's got 2 guys on him. He always seems to make the right decision, and he comes in for the captain who's out injured, muscular injury. But this is the news, one of the sub-stories or big stories. It's not really a sub-story. One of the main storylines of this match is that Lukaku and Dybala will be starting and playing on the field for the first time together in Giallo e Rosso. And this is something not just Roma fans, but all Serie A fans are really excited. And I'm super intrigued to see what these two can do together. You've got Dybala, who's going to be working off of him. Lukaku checks, opens up space, puts Dybala in on goal. Dybala playing the simple ball into Lukaku, putting him in on net. These guys can do so well together. It will just become a matter of, can Dybala stay fit throughout the season? Can we get 25 games out of him? And I'm hoping that is the case. So I really like this lineup, even though it's most probable. I do like it. I enjoy it a lot. Indica is raw. He's got to get some games under his belt so he can improve. He's a great one-on-one player as far as playing in this system. It takes time, takes chemistry. If Indica was, for example, sometimes, with foreign players, and by foreign, I mean not from Roma's academy, we're quicker to judge them than we are with Roma's talent. But imagine if Indica was from Roma's Primavera, we'd be giving him every benefit of the doubt. And, you got to remember, he's still a young player. He's a center back coming to a new league. It's a new language as well, new teammates. So let him adjust, let him adapt, let him get those few games, and then we'll see what type of player he really is by season's end. But I think that it could work out really well for him here. Looking forward to it. And like I said, Empoli, if we just look at the starting lineup here for Empoli, possible Berisha, Berezhinski, Ismaili, Luperto, Petzela, the 4-back, Male, Marin, Fazzini. It's an okay midfield. Marin's been around the block, as Male has as well. Marin, I think, was at Cagliari a year or 2 ago. Got my man Baldanzi there. He's the player that I really want Roma to pick up, and somebody who can play like a trequartista or a secondo punta. He can play in the overloads. So a lot of managers now, what they like to do, Gasparini does it, Paulo Fonseca does it in France, Xabi Alonso does it in Leverkusen, is they look to build up with numbers to take advantage of, let's say it's 3 guys. Then what'll happen with, when Gasparini started to do this, he would make diamonds. If there were 3 guys on one side of the pitch, Atalanta were looking to exploit that by putting an extra number there. That was Gomez, who would often play the simple ball or find himself in space. And I think Baldanzi can be that type of player in the future. Will Roma always play this way? No. Mourinho will not be here forever, but Baldanzi is a player of the next generation over the next 10 years. And to me, it's totally worth investing in someone like that. So, by the way, guys, don't forget, I know some people have come in at this point in time. Leave your comments, your thoughts, your concerns, your questions in the comments, and throw a like up there as well. Francesco Caputo, the aging striker with Cambiaghi. Now, Cambiaghi is very interesting. I'm going to get you some stats on him. Nicolo Cambiaghi, I think he's 22 years old. Okay. And if I'm not, okay, he's on loan from Atalanta. I was going to say Inter, but maybe, is there something to that? I'm going to check out more here. No, he's from Atalanta. He's born in Monza. He played for Pordenone on a loan in 2021. And the one thing I like about Cambiaghi is his footwork. We got like these short little steps. He can get around players on the dribble. He's what's the word? Yeah, swift, but almost like he's got like these tiptoes on the ball, and he's just able to get around players and draw players to him. So I'm interested to see what he could do against Roma's defense. I don't know how well it's going to work out for him, but hopefully not too well for Roma's sake. But this is definitely another player to watch for the future. Cambiaghi and Baldanzi, the two of them together. It's a lot of good stuff there. Okay. Back to the starting lineup here, though. The one thing I will say about the manager here, so I really like Paolo Zanetti. I think ever since he was at Venezia, he's done well. He was at somebody else last year, too. And I could see over the next 3 to 5 years him becoming someone who moves into the top 10. Like, I could see him get a bigger role, maybe like a Fiorentina if Italiano moves on. And yeah, I think that would be actually a really good club for him after Italiano leaves. But what can we expect out of him? I think they're going to sit back, guys. Mourinho knows this as well. He should be there on the bench, right? I don't think his suspension's over. I'm praying it's over. And I wouldn't also discount the fact that he is going to try to, at times, move his guys up when he sees Roma gets a little bit tired or not. I wouldn't totally say that he's just going to be defensive, so maybe we see some different shades. He knows he's under the gun right now. Empoli, 20th place, whatever, 18th, 19th, whatever, haven't scored a goal, have a bad goal differential against them. So it's not looking good for him. I know I mentioned he's a good manager. I do think that he is, but this Empoli, man, they just don't have much. Okay. Let's check out comments real quick and see what's going on. Cheers from South Korea. There we go. Leo's in here too. There we go. Come on, computer. Okay. Sometimes this computer acts up a little bit. What's up, Leo? Bove over Mourinho's guy, Cristante. He doubts. Okay. Yeah. I don't think so either. Just because, Cristante is his boy for sure. But let's take a look at the table right now as well and some matches coming up. Oh, by the way, I am planning to get my Totti frame back here. It's been pinned up. I feel like I'm always matching my background. Today I've got a blue hoodie. I've got a teal background. It's ridiculous. I'm always trying to blend in. Chameleon Roma channel, whatever. Okay, back to Serie A. Juventus Lazio kicks us off tomorrow morning. If you're in the New York area, that's 9 a.m. And then the Derby della Madonnina, Genoa Napoli, Cagliari Udinese, Monza Lecce, Frosinone Sassuolo, then Fiorentina Atalanta, Salernitana Torino on Monday, with Verona and Bologna ending the round. So besides the obvious, besides Juve, Lazio, Inter Milan, I would like to see the way that Frosinone plays at home. They've been I've seen two sides of them. On one, they looked poorly coached. On another side, they looked completely different. They looked like they've been well drilled and playing open, free football. Against Sassuolo, that could be interesting. I also like Fiorentina Atalanta. So just like Frosinone, we've seen two sides of Fiorentina. One that lays down, like against Inter, and another which really takes it to the opposition. And against Atalanta, there's going to be scoring opportunities. Atalanta could play two different ways. Gasperini could approach this defensively because he's away from home. He doesn't have that home support. He could be looking to let Fiorentina come on in, especially with if Gonzalez and the rest of the midfield start to move. I think that Italiano is going to move to a more possession-based mid-block, not a low-block system with Maxi Lopez, who has since joined the team. One of my favorite midfielders, gets a lot of the touches, a lot of the play goes through him. I think that's a great pickup from Sassuolo, actually, if you're Fiorentina, and they're going to start to play differently because of him. Salernitana Torino has lost a lot. Sanabria looks pretty good. And the Serbian player scored a heck of a goal the other day, or I should say the last round. What's his name? It's on the tip of my tongue. Anyway, it was in like the 90th minute or 93rd minute. So, and by the way, we should take a look at the starting lineup for Inter Milan. And I'm also planning, guys, on doing a Serie A recap on either Monday evening or Tuesday morning. So that will be non-Roma focused, but for the rest of the league, recorded version, figure about 10 minutes tops. So Inter, I think, is the best team in the league right now. Let me tell you why. Darmian, solid. De Vrij, yes. Bastoni, one of my favorite players. Then you got Dumfries, who's been such an athlete. I was talking to like one of my brothers today about him, and he's just been. I think Inter fans got on him a little bit like last season, and he was under some scrutiny. But you got to remember that Dumfries is defensive first. DiMarco is the more offensive of the wingbacks there. He does a great job. He's so athletic. He can make the tackle, and he comes up with a goal. You don't want to face him. Barella, elite midfielder. Çalhanoğlu has been playing so good defensively. And my same friend was telling me Mkhitaryan has been unbelievable. So it's a guy that Roma fans know really well. And, of course, DiMarco there. So look at that 5 across. And it definitely makes you concerned if you're the opposition. These players are great. Up ahead, Thuram, Roma fans also know from was he at Wolfsburg when Roma played him? Somewhere in Germany, right? And Martinez, who's in his prime now and really looks a different player. He doesn't play with stress. He looks like a leader out there. And here we can look at Milan's lineup. Giroud is probably not going to be there due to ankle injury. I think Sportmole got this wrong. Leao, Pulisic, Reinders, they've been great. Also, let's use that word elite because I think those players are. Loftus-Cheek's been really good, as Roma found out. Teo Hernandez, Kjaer steps in for Tomori. Theo is there along with Calabria and Mike Magnan. So 2 very strong teams. And what time is that again? That looks like it's, is that 12:30 for me? Yeah, 12 o'clock tomorrow, 12. So noon time for me, Eastern Standard Time, 6 p.m. Italian time. There we go. Oh, we got Ioannis in here. What's up, my man? Do you think Mourinho is finally going to try 4 in the back, or is he keeping the 3? I think he's keeping the 3 as of now. I think he's definitely going 3-5-2. And with that, I did ask some people. This was an open question to the WhatsApp group, the When in Rome WhatsApp chat here. And if you want to join in, I'm going to post that link once I remember how to do that. So let me look here. What do we got? Invite to group via link. I'm going to post that right now. If you do like chatting Roma, it's Roma focused. We don't really go off topic. I'm going to post that as a comment. 1 second. And there we go. So I've got Vijay here, and he is a main participant in the chat. He goes 3-5-2. He thinks this is going to be the best formation going forward. Indica, Smalling, Llorente. Christensen on the right, Spinazzola on the left. Bove, Cristante, Paredes. Up ahead, Lukaku, Dybala. So Bove there as a starter is what he wants to see with Paredes. My only wonder here is where the offensive outlet will be. So under this mechanism, Vijay has Paredes going up. I'm not sure if I can share this. Let me see if I can. No, I don't think I can. But anyway, it's based on Paredes going up and Cristante getting back. Another of our buddies here, Vincenzo, has a similar lineup with Lukaku and Dybala, but then goes 4-4-2 with Zalewski on the left, Bove playing somewhere on the right here, and Paredes and Cristante, Spinazzola left back, Selic right back, and Diga and Smalling. So the one thing that seems to be a theme here is the inclusion of Bove. And let's see if Mike C, also from the WhatsApp group, includes Bove, and he does. He includes a diamond midfield, so a 4-1-2-1-2 with Dybala just playing right behind shadow striker of Lukaku and Aouar the trequartista. Interesting that some of these formations here did not include Lorenzo Pellegrini, the captain, right? But to answer Ioannis's question here, I definitely think that it stays with the 3-man back line. And Miss Purple has an honest question, or she wants an honest answer here. on our left and right backs, comparing with the other team. So if we're talking as outside backs, I think Salik is a decent right back. A wing back? I don't think so. Is Karsdorp a bad wing back? No, I think he's pretty good. I think he's slightly above average, which is fine. Like that's good. There's nothing wrong with that. Spinazzola, he's having a tough time. Technically, he's Roma's best attacking wing back. Defensively, does he work in a back four? Maybe, probably not. Could he? Yeah, when Roma plays with like possession and they move players forward, sure. And if Paredes or Cristante drops to cover him, to counter that offensive movement, there has to be someone to cover him, when he moves up like that. So that's something to consider there. El Shaarawy, not a natural wingback, definitely a true winger there. So comparatively to like the top teams, no, Roma does not have a Dumfries. There's no DiMarco. There's no Teo Hernandez. Not at all. There's no Danilo. So I think Roma definitely lacks in that area. Are all players healthy? And that's a no, because we know that Pellegrini is out and Mancini is likely out and Renato Sanchez not fully fit. So guys, we know what to watch out for. And if you're watching this recorded, please remember to jump on in the conversation, leave your thoughts. And we're going to wrap up there because we're actually over 22 minutes in. And we will see how Roma does after the match. Hopefully, we've got a lot of good news. I'll be back live. Also, let me know. Do you want me to go on right after or an hour after when Mourinho's comments are out? So something to think about. Anything else? You know what? Let's check out Twitter real quick before we sign off. Let's see what's going on there. A couple of just thoughts of mine before we get out of here. Okay, let's go to notifications, go to my profile, see what's going on. Martino, what's he doing? He's probably getting really excited about the derby right now, but we'll see. Okay, you can get your very own Kim Kardashian soccer jersey for $200. I don't know who they're kidding. It's a fake, by the way. Ridiculous. That was an awesome picture. I thought this one very Peaky Blinders, or somebody said, what was the other comparison they made? No, somebody wrote it down here. I'm not glad. What was it? Somebody said something. I don't know. It doesn't matter. It was another movie reference. But anyway, I didn't realize Renato Sanchez is not that tall. I didn't know he was like, well, what's he look like here? Come on. 5'7", 5'8". Like if Dybala is 5'8", 5'9". Aouar's not that tall either. Funny. Indica's pretty tall and Lukaku's just gigantic. It's funny. I can't wait to see Lukaku score a goal, man. All right. So Lukaku scoring a goal every 35 minutes against Empoli on average. So once that man scores, let's see what happens, guys. We will talk soon. We'll talk after the match. And right after. Okay, that sounds good to me. We'll be doing it. And I hope by the middle of the season we can get some live scoreboards and stuff like that. We'll talk soon. Ciao.